Hi everyone, I'm Dina. I'm the Nightly Stitcher here on YouTube and also over on Instagram if you would like to follow me over there. I post my cross stitch there, pretty much all cross stitch. I occasionally will post something with my dogs or family, but it's usually pretty much all cross stitch. I haven't done a video for about 3 weeks again. We've just been busy and I just haven't been able to get it done. So I kind of threw stuff together to show you this morning. My husband's gone again today to play pool. When he's home, I don't like to do the videos because I either have to drag it all upstairs or do it down here, and I just feel kind of self-conscious with him listening. So anyway, it may be a mess. I have no particular order. I quickly wrote down some notes on things to show you and kind of give you an idea of what I've been doing for the last 3 weeks and what I'm going to get ready to do for the new year. After the first year, I'll do a whip parade. I have probably close to 30 whips, maybe around 25. But I'm also participating in the 12 by 12 stitch. I guess it would be a stitch along. It's by Pam from Just Keep Stitching and Kia B. I'm going to participate in that, so I'll have 12 projects added to that. Actually 9 projects because 3 are whips, 9 are going to be new starts. So yeah, so that's it. Also, this is floss tube number 17. It's December 27th. It's 2 days after Christmas, and we made it. We had a really good Christmas, our girls, and their significant others came in, a grandson and his girlfriend, and spent Christmas Day with us. We really enjoyed it. Had a really good time. So we had a white Christmas here in Missouri, our part of Missouri anyway. It's been in that sub-zero, and like so many of you are. But anyway, we got a little bit of snow, not as much as we thought we were going to get before Christmas, but it's just been so cold, it's still on the ground. And yesterday I did some sewing, so I looked out and it was snowing, and I didn't even know they were calling for it. So we got just a little skiff again. I mean, the roads are kind of covered, the grass is covered, but not bad. I'm not a winter person at all, so I've said this before, once the trees are bare and the grass is dead and the plants are dead, I'm ready for spring. I don't like this time of year. I think it's depressing. You have no color. You take a picture outside and it looks like a black and white photo. So yeah, I'm not a winter person, so I can't wait for things to start greening up and warming up. But we're supposed to be, I think, like 62 Wednesday or Thursday. It's crazy. It's supposed to be warming up from today on for the next several days and be in the 50s. And like I said, I think one day is supposed to be in the 60s. So it's just crazy. It's a roller coaster. Anyway, let's see, what else we've done. I always forget once I get here and get started, and I can't really remember of anything else we've done other than Christmas. So we did have a small, well, it was the same Christmas get-together. My youngest daughter's boyfriend, he came in with her and his 3 kids on the 18th. It was last weekend before Christmas. Anyway, we did Christmas with his kids, and we had a really good time. I think the kids had a good time, and so we really had 2 Christmases. We've never had 2 Christmases before, so our family is so small. But anyway, we did that, had lunch. My husband cooked a ham, and we fixed some other things with it. And then for Christmas, I always do lasagna. For the last 5-6 years I've done a lasagna, so I always make 2 big pans of lasagna, and we have that, and then we have the extra pan of lasagna that everybody can divide up and take home and have leftovers for a day or two. So that's what we did for lunch on Christmas. Um, I believe that's about it to get you caught up. But anyway, I'm going to start out with whips. Like I said, I kind of have piles and I have no orders. So it was either make piles and quickly write down some notes or not do it, because I am kind of in crunch time here. So my whips, I had posted on Instagram that I was going to be working on Dutch Beauty for the last 2 weeks of the year. And let me get the chart out. This is upside down. This is Dutch Beauty. There, that's a pretty good picture. I started this, gosh, I don't remember. It's been a couple of years ago that I started this. I started up here in the left-hand corner. I did the border all the way around before I did anything. And when I got around, it did not come out. So I traced back to where I was off, and I can't remember if it's off here or here. I can't see either one of them, but I'll show you in my on my piece this border, and this is what I've done. I've been working on for a couple of years. This is so big, I usually don't even take it off my floor stand, but I have worked on it so much I thought I would go ahead and take it off the floor stand. Let me back this table up a little bit so I can put it out here. So if you see with this border, let me go back over to this side. It has these 3 little things on the edge, on the straight side of the border. And then you have the little flower, the bud. Well, somewhere, I think it's, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 stitches on this straight edge, right? Let me see, this is so awkward. Right here on this straight edge, there's either 5, 6, 7 stitches, I don't remember. But this little border here, you have this 5 stitches that are just past the end, and then you have 1 in the middle, and then 5 stitches past the end. Well, wherever it's at, and for some reason I'm thinking it's down here on the bottom, I miscounted and I'm short 1 stitch. So I have to take this out. So I'm going to, there goes the notebook. I'm going to take this column out and then over to where my mistake is. But this is already worked all the way around, except for the little extras, the floral and the flower buds. So I'm going to take it out when I get down there. So since I've been working on this for the last couple of weeks, I put this flower in, I put this pot in, I put this pot in, one of these flowers right in here, I think it might have been this one, I put this in. Wow, this is heavy. I gotta scoot up and get a better grip. I did this. I'm working on the line that's coming across here, and I quit there. It's 2 colors, if you can see. There are 2 colors in that ground. So I worked 1 color all the way across, and then I'm going back with the green. So then I did all of this area here, the 2 little guys, this basket here. I did from here down on the arch. I already had the arch in, I already had the top of the arch done, but now I'm coming down here. So that's where I'm at right now. So I was going to work on this for the last 2 weeks of the month, and then on Christmas Day I decided, let me find a place to prop this up. Hold on. this is just so massive. It's huge. So anyway, on Christmas Day, I hope you don't see my leggings that I have on if I lean over and all, because they definitely do not match this top. So Christmas Day, I decided I was going to put out my Christmas village because I hadn't worked on it for a while. I have 2 more buildings here and finish the gingerbread house, and I have to fill in a house up here at the top, but then I will be done. So I've been working on this. I have put all this snow in. I worked Christmas Day and last night. So I did, actually it was like Christmas night and last night because kids were here all day on Christmas Day. Anyway, I did all this snow. I did this trunk of this, I think it's a tree. I did the little evergreen border here. And I did this snowflake, this snowflake, this snowflake, and that snowflake. And then the red and white stripes up here, I think I started right about here. I had previously stitched all the white all the way across. And then I was just going to fill in with red. Well, I had stopped right about here with the red. So last night was all of this just stitching in the red. So you could see I have just a few more things of red. And I was just tired. I couldn't do any more. It was the same thing all night long. So I just quit on it. But I don't know. I'm thinking I might go on and work on this for a couple more days. Maybe till the end of the year. And then put it away. So that is Christmas Village by Country Cottage Needleworks, I believe. All right, then the next WIP I did that I've been working on. My last floss tube was on the 6th of December, so this is what I've been doing since the 6th of December. So I stitched and finished. When you saw my last video, I think I had this bird in and this little bit of a vine just right here. It was not much at all. But anyway, I finished my little November calendar girl, and I think this is Country Cottage Needleworks too, or else it's Little House. I think it's Country Cottage. There's March. I'm just doing them on a piece of fabric that I dyed, and then I cut them apart after a while. I've got some of them. I think I have 4 already made into, I've missed a stitch. I do this every time when I get on a video. I notice where I missed something. So there is a stitch right there, and I think it's part of this cherry on top. I'm gonna have to go back and fill that in. It's a good way to catch your mistakes anyway. So anyway, I think I have 4 of them made into pillows. I'm putting the same backing fabric on all of them. And I'll cut this one out at some point. Okay, then my next one that I've worked on since the last video is Halloween Hijinks. And as I've said in the last several floss tubes, this is Halloween Hijinks by Carolyn Manning. I already had this started, and Stitch Brat on Instagram, she came up with a plan to stitch this entire thing, and you kind of have a goal for each month, and then it'll be done by October 1st of 2023. So I have been working on it again, and what I do is start it on the 1st, and I stitch on it pretty much until I've gotten that section completed for the month, and then I move on to something else. And there's really not much to see. It's oh, hold on, I got a needle hanging. So there isn't really much to see. I've been working, I've got the bottom border done. Let me pull these off. I've got the bottom border done, as you can see here. And I was coming down this other side, and then once I got there, I had met my goal for the month, so I quit working on it. Let me tighten this up. It's wanting to slide on me. Okay. And then, I don't know if I know people have asked me about this. These are just grime guards that I make myself out of quilted fabric to keep my arm when I'm stitching on it, keeps my arm from laying on the fabric so you don't get any kind of like oil stains or anything off of your arm. And then these are what I think they call them orange peels. They're actually made for spools of thread, but I use them for holding this in place so it doesn't slide on me. It stays right there. So that is Halloween hijinks. Let me put it back in the sleeve. I have a sniffly nose, which I don't have a cold, but for some reason my nose runs all winter long, so I'm constantly sniffing. All right. Then the last piece I've worked on since my last video was the alphabet blocks by Carriage House Samplings. Let me get the pattern here and I'll show it to you. That is alphabet blocks. It's an older pattern. And I have, just a second, everything's going in a pile over there. I have finished the second row, so I've got let's see, last time I think I was working on this horse. So I finished this block and I finished the border that come down here. So that's all I have done on that. I probably didn't have much to do. I don't think I had much to do after my last video. So that's my whips that I've been working on. And then we're going to move on to, let me look at my notebook that fell on the floor. Okay, got that done. Right quick, I wanted to mention, let me get rid of this one. I had somebody that asked me, I had said that my husband makes my scroll rods, and she was wanting to know how he did it. Well, we just buy dowel rods. I'm going to tip you up just a bit. There. We just buy dowel rods, and usually it's 1/2 inch, 3/4. I like the bigger one, whatever it is. And I do have some of both sizes because I have 2 different brands of scroll rods, but I like the bigger rods. And so my husband just cuts the rod the size that I need. And this is what you need to put in the end of it. And I couldn't tell you what they are, but I keep getting mixed up here with which way to go. But these are what goes into the end of the, is that better? Into the end of the rod. And this longer piece, this longer shank part here goes in the wood. He has to drill a hole in the end of the dowel rod and he screws these in. And then you have a little smooth area here, which is your in-bar area. And then this is where your wing nuts go on. So that's what we use. And then we just use the right size wing nut that fits. So that's what you need for that. And then he just takes the measurement off the end bars. And the end bars really don't matter how long they are. He just cuts a piece of wood and, you know, sands it down, drills 2 holes in it for your dowel rods to go in. So very simple. We don't finish them or anything. But on the dowel rods themselves, I've tried twill tape, and I don't really care for the twill tape so well. It's thinner, but I found this strapping, and I think this is for like handles. It's pretty thick, and I thought, well, I'm going to try it because I like something thicker on the rod. this works really good. If you have a sharp needle and I use heavyweight sewing thread, and I just sew my fabric down on here, and the needle just slides right through it. I have had twill tape with crochet thread try to sew it on, and that's terrible. I can't get the needle to come in and out very good. I fight it all the time. So I have been switching over to this, and it sews on much easier. What I do on the dowel rod is use a yardstick or a ruler and draw a pencil line on it. Then I run a bead of wood glue along that pencil line, and then I take a piece of this that's the same length as the dowel rod and lay it down. And I usually will, I had been wrapping wax paper strips around it and taping it down so it would dry. But the last time when I made my last pair, I used painter's tape, and I just, about every inch or two, you can kind of tell because it won't stick. So I just ran painter's tape down along there. You could probably just run a long strip in a spiral, but I just did pieces that went around it, let it dry overnight, and then took the painter's tape off. So that's how we make our dowel rods. If you are interested in making your own, I'm gonna put everything down here, and hopefully when we're done, the table's empty and I haven't forgotten anything. Let me get a drink here. Mark them off. So I will show you, let me look here on my other page. Oh, I am almost at 4,000 subscribers. I need 11 subscribers to hit 4,000. So I'm really looking forward to that. When we hit 4,000 subscribers, I'm going to do a giveaway. So I'm looking forward to doing that. When I hit 3,000, I did a giveaway. And so for every 1,000, I think I'm going to do another giveaway. So mentioning me to your friends, and let's get that 4,000 so we can do the giveaway. Also, I have been watching some floss tubers, and I was quickly thinking this morning who I had watched over the last 3 weeks, and I know I've watched others, but I can't remember. I went down my phone through my subscriptions, and I don't know if you all have it the same way, but there's a blue dot by your floss tubers if there's a new post, and I got a lot of blue dots I need to watch, but I just haven't had the time to really get into watching a lot of them. So anyway, what I was going to say though, since I was about to hit 4,000, Hoopy Hobby, that her name I believe is Angie, and she is almost at 500. So she's at 448 right now. So I thought I'd mention her. Go check her out. She's really a cute little gal. I believe she's a police officer. Has a little boy. Lives in Colorado. But she does some really cute pieces, and I really enjoy watching her. So go check out Hoopy Hobby. I've also watched the 911 Stitcher. There's several here I wrote down. Sable Stitchers, I watched them the other day. The Camping Stitcher, the Fanciful Flamingo, Stitching by the Shore. I really enjoy watching her too. I enjoy watching everybody. Sunshine Stitchers with EJ and Sheila. They're always so funny. Two Needles Pulling Thread. Kathy and Missy did a live floss tube the other night and did a lot of giveaways, and it was really fun to comment along while they were doing their live video. So you can still go back and watch it even though it was live. Kindred Stitcher, I watched her night before last, I believe it was. And then Fox and Rabbit, I watched them the other day, and Brendan had a Christmas tree on his head the whole time, and Karen had can't remember exactly, it was a headband with two things that came up, and I think she had Christmas trees on those. So they had a really good floss tube the last time. I watched Lost and Floss a couple of days ago with Barb. And then Mouse Potato Designs. I am trying to go back and watch some of her older ones that I hadn't seen. Um, so since I found her, I'm trying to go back. She is so organized. It just blows my mind that she's so organized. And if you go watch her, you'll see what I mean. And I really admire the way she can pull all this together. And I'm kind of using some of her tips and how she does things to try to get myself better organized. So Mouse Potato Designs, that is Felicia. So then let's see, on what do we want to do next? Let's do haul. So my haul is going to be something I bought. I'm going to put my notebook here and hopefully not knock it off, because my phone is sitting on a teeny tiny little table. So this is going to be a combination of some Christmas and some things I bought. So I had a really long Amazon list, and I got all but one thing off of there. So I had a bag of lizard litter on there, and that was the only thing I didn't get, but I have quite a bit of lizard litter still, so for filling pillows and stuff. So I had seen these beads on there, and I thought those would be really cute for some finishing. These are Christmas. They have a black and red plaid, and then some solid red and solid green. These are red, white, and unfinished. And these are, I think they're all red, all green. Yeah, they're all green on this side, solid green. You do get some jute and stuff with them. I'll just use it for something else, probably maybe making a bow or something. But anyway, my grandson's girlfriend got me these. And then I got other stuff, but I wasn't going to show you the non-stitchy stuff. So my husband, he always buys me about everything that I want. And he got me the Sulky Petites, the Dream Assortment number 2. And my daughter got me one container of one of the assortments last year, I believe it was, for Christmas. And then I bought one myself off of Amazon. So let me open this and I'll show you all the pretty colors. So this is what it comes in this assortment. And then they leave you room to add more. So what I'm wondering is, are there other sulky threads in a size 12, which is what this is, that do not come in the 3 assorted cases? I would assume there must be some, since they've got some extras. In both of the other cases, there's some empty pegs. So I'm wondering, I guess I just need to go down through the sulky thread list and see what I have and what I don't have. But if you've not stitched with sulky, 1 strand of this is equal to 2 strands of regular floss. So I really enjoy stitching with it, and they have such pretty colors. So my husband got me that for Christmas. And then he got me, you're going to say, wow, this is really a weird gift. But these are bookends, and they came from Amazon. They were by the dozen. So I told him I wanted these, the dozen, because in my closet in my sewing room, I have all my fabric, which I have enough fabric for to start my own business, but that's neither here nor there. But I wrap all my fabric around comic book boards. When you get your yardage, I fold it in half along the short side. So instead of like, what is it, 22, it's going to be 11 or so. I fold it lengthwise, and then I wrap it around a comic book board, and then I stand it on edge on my shelves. And so that way you can, well, for one thing, you can see what you got. You can get a lot more in there by doing that, and you don't have to dig because you don't have piles of fabric. You've got rows of fabric. But I group them together, and then I'll have like an area that's just a short amount of, say, I don't know, Christmas, which I don't. I have a huge assortment of Christmas. But anyway, it's just like a bookshelf. Those last few, they just want to fall down. Well, if you slide these in under them like you would a book, it keeps everything standing upright, really nice. And I just had a couple of them that I found at a garage sale or something. And I thought, well, I'm going to try them for that. And they work so well. So I told him I wanted some more of these just metal bookends. So I got a dozen of those. And then he got me, see, I have my frills that I like. So like my fun stuff, like my sulky thread and just fun stuff. But then I am very, what do you want to call it? I want things that are useful. So I got a bag of bags. And he got me these because I use the bigger ones. I buy the bigger ones by the 100 pack. And any of my cross stitch books, I don't have my magazines in them. I probably should, but all of my books I put in the zipper bags, the clear bags, to store away. And that way it just keeps them clean and all. So these are the 6x9 because I have some of the smaller patterns, and a lot of the designers are, I think they're selling them in there. They're putting their own designs in the bags, or the shops are putting them in the bags or something. But I have a bunch of the smaller patterns that are not in bags. So I wanted to get these smaller bags to finish putting everything in Ziploc bags and storing away. So I got that. That's my haul. My husband also got me this pattern that I was wanting. Let's see. There. I thought that was really cute. It's a quilt, a little ghost quilt, so I like to do that. And then he got me more orange peels. I have 100 orange peels. Sorry. 100 orange peels because I have a lot of my projects don't have these on them, and I want to get them on all my projects where I have that grime guard at the bottom, and it just keeps it from scooting around. So I got a bag of 100 of those. He also got me a bag of beads that's the same as the other one that my grandson's girlfriend gave me, but these came in a bag for some reason. I don't know how come. And then he also got me these Halloween beads. These are orange. They're in a kind of a, they're not very good to see, but, and I haven't opened them, but no, I'm trying not to crinkle them. White, unfinished, orange, purple, black. I think that's it. So those will be cute on some Halloween finishes. And then that's all of Christmas. So my haul, well, my magazine came, which everybody's gotten this probably by now. It's the, what is it? It doesn't say. February 2023. And it also has, I was going to show you the finished piece if I can find it. And I know a lot of people have talked about Katarina. She's Stitchy Princess Black on Instagram, Facebook. I mean, she's in a lot of groups. She's from the Ukraine, and I had kind of mentioned her a few times about supporting Ukrainian designers. And here's her design. She posted the other day that they've stayed in Ukraine in their apartment this whole time, but they had to leave the other day, and I guess it was her grandma, and her husband. They had to leave Ukraine, and they live, I think, in Kherson, or but anyway, they had to leave. I don't know where they went, but they left with nothing but 3 suitcases and their cat. So, as we all say, keep them in your prayers and the Ukrainian people. I wish that would just come to an end so people can try to rebuild their lives. And she posted the other night they were getting ready to start rebuilding. They're staying in a Airbnb right now, but they are getting an apartment. So wherever they have gone to. So anyway, this is her little design that's in Just Cross Stitch magazine for February. So I just wanted to mention that because I thought that was quite an accomplishment for her. She sells on Etsy if you're interested in looking at her charts. This was, here is I bought these. Cecilia's Sampler that is in Branson, Missouri. They had a sale going I believe it was last week, and they had different designers on sale each day. So you had to watch it and catch what it was. Well, one day they had JBW designs. So I got these, I'm thinking 50-60% off. They were really inexpensive. I bought Mary. Let me try to stabilize that. I bought Mary. Oh, that says Be Merry if you're looking for the design. This is a Scandinavian Christmas. And it comes with some buttons. Let me try to cover this up. It does come with some buttons. And then I bought, Seaside Series 7. I don't do Roman numerals very well. It's been too long since I was in school. Beach umbrella and sailboat. And then I bought Seaside Series 5. I do know the 5. Seagull and the beach conch shell. And then I bought Seaside Series number 3, which is the dolphin and the crab. And I've mentioned a few times that I have the beachy coastal theme in our 5th wheel. So those I'll do something and put them in there. I bought Peace at Christmastide. I thought that was really pretty. Not sure about the colors. I might have to change some of the colors. They look really like almost like a fuchsia color. So I'm not sure. I might have to change them a little bit, but I thought that was really cute. It says, may peace be your gift at Christmas and your blessing all year through. And then I got Miss Mary Sampler, $17.96. I thought that was just a little quickie. So these are all small little quick projects to do. I found some freebies. Actually, this one came as a free pattern from Cecilia's when I ordered those. Cute little fox with some trees and flowers. And this says it's Whispered by the Wind Designs, and it's called Finnegan Flowers. So you can probably go to Whispered by the Wind, and I bet you could download this free chart. And then they also sent me this one. I guess I can show it because it's a free chart. It's because it'd be a lot easier just to, let me see. I'm gonna cover some of this up. I'm just gonna cover a little bit of it up. But here, you won't be able to see it very good. But it's Christmas, and then it has a house. I'm just going to kind of interrupt the pattern. So I thought that was real cute. And I don't know, can you show free patterns? I would think you could show free patterns. Who would want to screenshot it and go through all that trouble anyway? I'd rather just go get it, buy it, whatever I have to do, and be done with it. Make it easier on myself. This my husband found in a storage unit, and he brought it home the other day, and he said, I think you might want this. And I was like, well, sure. So this is a 10, but it kind of looks like cross stitch. And this is the sides. I don't know how old it is. I can't find anything on it. It doesn't have it doesn't have a brand or anything. 1953, right there. 1953 Sal Stein Association. Older than what I thought. So, I don't notice these things. Like I said with my cross stitch, I don't notice them till I get on here and get to looking at stuff. So, I thought that was very pretty. I don't know what I'll put in it yet, but I'll find something to put in it. And then, let me lay this down here. I think, I forgot the biggie. Which you all, if you follow me on Instagram, let me move my notebook. If you follow me on Instagram, I posted pictures of this Christmas night, I believe. This was such a surprise. My two girls, my oldest cross-stitched years ago. Well, they both cross-stitched years ago, but my oldest was a big cross-stitcher years ago. And now with her job, it takes so much of her time that she hasn't cross-stitched for a long time. I keep trying to get her back into it. We were on vacation one year, a couple years ago, and they have 2 dachshunds, so I can't remember the designer, but it's the 2 dachshunds that you see, and they're like in Halloween costumes or sweaters or just different, but I think one's in bikinis, but anyway, I kitted up one of them for her, and she still hasn't started it, so I was hoping to get her back into cross stitch. So she knows how to do all this. My younger daughter, she used to dispatch, was a 911 dispatcher for, I don't know, maybe a year or so. And she worked the night shift. So this is a child that never sat down when she was small. She watched TV standing in the middle of the living room, and you're like, will you please sit down? And even at school, we had parent-teachers conference. Even at supper, let me go back. At supper, she always stood at the table with one leg where she had her knee up in the chair. So she had the knee up in her chair and a foot on the ground, and she would eat supper that way. It's like she had to leave really quick or something. I never could figure out, but she did that since she was little bitty. And she's always on the move. She's still always on the move. But anyway, she dispatched on the evening shift, and she told me, she said, I need to learn how to cross stitch. She said, because we're a small town, and she didn't have to do a lot on the midnight shift, and it was quieter. And I about fell over for one thing, because this is a child that never set to do anything. So now she wants to set and learn to cross stitch. So I taught her how to cross stitch, and she did several things. So, but she kind of just, once she didn't dispatch anymore, she got out of it and didn't do anymore. So anyway, they both knew the concept of cross stitch and charts. So this is what I got for Christmas. One of the things I got from them. They surprised me so much that I just couldn't believe they did this. I have to stitch 3. They said I have to stitch 3, one for each one of them, and one for myself. And let me find the right way up, and I'm going to get up so you can't see my leggings. So this is going to be hard to show everything at one time, but I believe the youngest daughter put most of the time in on it. She sat and made this border up, and she's used a large graph paper. Now this is not going to come out nearly this big. But she sat and she did the border. The top row, let me back up. This says family stitched with love. And she drew our house. We have a widow's walk up on top, so she drew that, and the little balcony on the front. She put in my husband and me, and I wish I was that skinny. Then we also have 5 dogs, 5 Pomeranians, and we have a 5th wheel camper. So she did a little camper. And then down here on the middle row is my oldest daughter, and they have 2 dachshunds. The little black thing sitting beside each one of them is a suitcase because they travel all the time. In fact, they were supposed to be leaving to go to Peru, and they ended up canceling because I guess there's so much unrest in Peru right now that they did not want to go down with all the riots going on. I'm sorry. So they have canceled their trip to Peru. So this is their house, and then we go down a little farther. I'm sorry if this paper is really, really loud, but then my youngest daughter, this is her house. This is her 3 beagles. And then it's her and my grandson, and he's holding a gun because he is an avid hunter. So that's it. And then the border runs across the bottom. So I'll probably tweak it just a little bit from, a little bit as I go. I'm not sure. Let me get it back up here and show it again. But anyway, I have to make 3 of these. So I'm going to have to get started. I do have to pick the colors. Let me lay this down just a second. I must step out of the camera. And then I'm going to try to pull my shirt down so you don't see my ugly leggings. All right. And we have Tootie that wants to come up here and say hi. So say hi, Tootie. Yeah. So anyway, I got 3 of those to make. I don't know if I'll get them all done this year or not. I had said in a previous video, my plans for next year was not to start any large projects. And I was just, if I start anything, it's going to be smalls. So I guess I will be starting those though. And then also, where did it go? Also on, I know it's here, but I can't find it. Oh, it's right here. Okay, Tootie's done. So, New Year's Day, I have a Sal that I have mentioned. This is, get the glare, Peacock Sampler by Twin Peaks Primitives. And we're going to do this on New Year's Day. Started on New Year's Day. So it's a big project. So I will have the samplers to do and then this one. And those are the only 2 big ones I think I'm going to start. Hopefully I won't have to start anything else. So let's see. I have done haul. Let me see. Twin Peaks Primitive. I have about 15 people that have messaged me and said that they are starting on the Twin Peaks sampler, the Peacock sampler, along with me. So, it's you can make your own rules, as they say. You don't have to start it on New Year's Day. You start it when it works out for you. So if you need to start it ahead of time, or you need to start it on the 10th of January or March or whatever, just join in with us on the Sal. I have changed the hashtag. The hashtag was so long I could never remember it. And now I did change it to hashtag TPP for Twin Peaks Primitive, NYD, New Year Day, Sal, Peacock Sampler. So if you want to look that up on Instagram, hashtag TPPNYD Sal Peacock Sampler. So then we'll be posting our progress there. The next thing that I wanted to mention, and Fanciful Flamingo, Alicia, and Sweetwater Stitcher Jessica, they have come up with a Stitch Your Stash 2023 hashtag. It's a SYS 2023. On Instagram, and that is this year you're going to a stitch from your stash. That doesn't mean you can't buy. It doesn't mean that you have to stitch everything from your stash, but just have one thing in your project. If it came from your stash, you're good. So that's a 2023 plan. And I am going to do that. I'm still going to buy, but I'm going to try to use more of my stash. And then the next thing I wanted to mention was 12 by 12. That was started by Pam from Just Keep Stitching and Kia B. And they are starting for New Year's Eve. You stitch on 12 projects for an hour from noon to midnight. And they can be new starts, they can be 12 whips, they can be a mix, it doesn't matter. I'm probably going to start in the morning and stitch a little bit and probably take a break and stitch some more, just so I don't want to start at noon, I don't think, and stitch clear around to midnight without taking a break, because my neck probably will kill me the next day. So I'm going to show you what my plans are for the 12 by 12. I do have a couple that I can't really show because I just ran a copy out of my magazines and then I put my magazine away and forgot about showing it to you. So I really can't mention it. I mean, I can't show it. But it's one that is called, I'll show you as I get farther along. It's called Dogs. That's all it's, I think. Yeah, Dogs. It's just a tiny little, let's see if I can cover it up a little bit. It's just a tiny little graph. You see a tree and a dog's butt. But anyway, I'm going to start that one. That's one that will be a start. Like I said, I have 9 starts and 3 whips. So this one is a little kit I got somewhere, and I don't remember where. But it's called Silk Bee. Hang on a minute. I can't do that with a shaky hand. Okay, Silk Bee. It's just a Silk Bee pillow. So I thought, that's a really quick one. It came with fabric and floss. So it's just a white Joblin. I think it's an even weave. And it came with some silk threads. So that's going to be a start. I really want to see more finishes this year, so that's partly why I want to do smalls, because I want to concentrate on working on my whips that I already have going, which is mostly big whips, and then here and there I'll throw in some smalls. This one is a kit that I found at Goodwill or someplace like that. I found my chart. Okay, where's the chart? Here's the chart. This was a kit. I bought it for, I think it was $3, but it's tall turkey. It says, "Be ye grateful," and it's got a pumpkin button. And it came with this fabric and the button. So for $3, that was a pretty good buy. So that's going to be a start. Sorry. This one, I didn't go through and unzip most of these. I should have. This is Christmas Be Merry Start, and it is old. I don't know where I got this either. I have 2 other charts that are like this. They're just a little leaflet and then the paper to go with it. So I picked out this one. It doesn't have the charm with it, but that's not a big deal. I can put something else there. I have 2 dogs playing over there if you get to hearing them. They've had their nap and now they want to play. Okay, my next one, I didn't change the fabric out on this. This was a kit that I won when I was at the Orange Beach retreat in September last year. I don't remember when we were at that retreat. I don't know. Anyway, I won this kit, and it's a hands-on design called Harvest Hexies. And it has all the really, really nice instructions on how to put this together. I am doing a grandmother's flower garden quilt, so I know how to make hexies anyway. I just got to stitch it and then put them together. It comes with, all right, I don't have enough coordination here. It comes with finishing fabric for the back of the pillow, and it comes with felt for the front. I'm not sure if I'm going to use this felt. I'm thinking I may change it to a solid cotton fabric. Not real sure. Whoops, sorry. But anyway, I have this all sectioned off already, so I drew the line so that I've got six pieces there. I forgot to say too, what I am trying to do, I haven't got them all done yet, but I am trying to get the first couple of stitches in. I'll try to do this slow. The next one I'm doing is, these are all my Prairie Schooler Santa cards. I am going to start Prairie Schooler Santa 2006 with the sewing machine. And here's where I have just a small start. This is the wrong side. This is just a little ball on the top of his hat. So I can pick this up on whichever hour I work on it, and I can start stitching right away. So I've always said I like everything complete in my bag. So I have my magnet board with a copy of the chart. Well, I can't get it out because it's just thrown down there in the bottom. But I have all my floss in there. I have the needle with a few stitches already completed. So it's real easy to just pick it up and start stitching. This one was a gift. We did an exchange at the Orange Beach, Alabama retreat. And I got this cute little pattern. And I believe it's a free pattern again. So I'm just going to show it quickly. But when she gave it to me, the gal that I got it from, she had the floss in there, the fabric. So again, I have my starting point. I think that's the top of the umbrella. And she put finishing fabric. She put this goes around the board, or it's the border on the front side of the pillow, or a wall hanging. It was a wall hanging. I'm not sure. Excuse me if I'll do a wall hanging or a pillow. And then she gave me this fabric. So it's real cute. So I'm going to start that. And it has really fun colors that I don't usually stitch with, but I think it'll be a lot of fun. So that one's ready to start. The next one is, oh, this one, yeah, this one I can't show you either because it's out of a Just Cross Stitch magazine, I believe. I didn't write it down. But I just ran a copy out of the magazine, and because it says the photos on page 16. But it doesn't say what year. Anyway, it's a train by Prairie Schooler. So you'll see it as I stitch along on it and see the progress. And again, I have a couple of stitches, so I'm ready to start. Patterns on a magnet board and threads all in there. I am starting, this is one I've wanted to start for a good while. It's Harriet's Valentine, and it is by Summerhouse Stitchworks. And I think that is so pretty, just a small pillow. So I have all it called for overdyed. So I have all of them in here. And got my chart. And I have put a few stitches into that. And this might be something that you might think about if you are participating in 12 by 12. Just get them first couple of stitches in, and you know, you can pick it up right away, and you don't have to try to find spend 10 minutes out of your hour trying to figure out where you're going to start. Now this one is a whip. I've shown you before. It was a kit that I got, and it was on perforated paper. It was a Christmas card. And I don't care to stitch on perforated paper, so I'm doing mine on linen. and I just have some finishing to do right down here, and I'll be done. So I'm hoping I can finish that, but I don't know if I can finish it in an hour or not, because I have to finish. Yeah, I won't finish it in an hour. I have to put the birds on, and I forgot. I'm not supposed to be doing that, was I? Oh, well. Too late now. I got to put the birds on. Supposed to be showing this side. I got to put the birds on and the hearts along the bottom. So, anyway. This is an old kit. It's from, well, it says 1989. So, anyway, you're probably not going to find that anywhere anyway. So, then another, no, this is a start. This is a free pattern, and it is, I'll show you my original, and I made my working copy. So this is the original free pattern by the Sampler Girl. I just made a copy, and I always work from copies. 2010, the Sampler Girl. Christmas Eve Flight is what this is called. So if you like that one, you could probably go to the Sampler Girl and get that. But I am doing it on, this is a little different for me. I was kind of looking to change things up a little bit. And I am doing this on an 18 count, but it's a very, very loose weave. And I think you would probably use a pearl cotton on this, but I'm using 3 strands of DMC floss. I tried it with 2 strands. It wasn't quite thick enough for me, so I'm using 3 strands. And now the last 2 are whips. And this is Lizzie Kate. Whoops. I got a whole bunch of Lizzie Kates in this bag to do. So this one, nope, not that one. Let me find it. Oh, not that one. Not that one. Where's my original? Not that one. Well, where's my original? Maybe it's not in here. I may have taken it out and put it back with the others. Okay. Anyway, this is Santa's Got the Goods. Yeah. This is called Santa's Got the Goods. This is a Lizzie Kate. I do these on a 28 count even weave, and I stitch over 1 thread with 1 thread of floss, and then I make them into ornaments. And of course I have a Christmas lobster. I don't care how I get I just grab something. And then the other one is another Lizzie Kate, and I'll get my elves on that, and I do have the pattern for that. Okay, hang on. So that's that one. So I want to stitch on both of these too during that 12 and 12. So yeah, I don't know where the other pattern is for Santa's Got the Goods. It must be upstairs, because it's not any of these. I just have 3 or 4 in here that I still want to do. So that is all of my 12 and 12. If you're interested in doing that on Christmas Eve day and evening with Pam and Kia B. And then we're almost done. The only thing I have left is a big finish that I did yesterday. Don't whine. She's such a whiny baby, aren't you? You're going to have to wait a minute. So I spent most of the day finishing this up. I had started this, it's a quilt if you're not interested, but I had started this quilt a couple of years ago, and finally got the binding on yesterday. So I'm not going to open it up because it's a king size quilt. I'm just going to show you part of it. So it's called a disappearing 9 patch. And the way you do a disappearing 9 patch, you sew 9 pieces of fabric, 3 across and 3 down, and then you cut them into a quarter. So and then you just rearrange them, and they turn out like this. So anyway, this is my disappearing 9 patch. And it's all, again, it's beach coastal fabrics because it's going on our bed in the camper. And it's a king size bed, so this is a huge quilt. And I was so pleased to get this done last night, or yesterday. I finally finished it. I started about 10:30, and I finally finished getting the binding done at about 4, I think it was. But there's a lot of strips to sew together and make the binding and everything. So just quickly wanted to show you that, but in case any quilters wanted to see it. Okay. Oh, I was gonna go over plans for next year, but I kind of told you what those are, so I'm just gonna quickly say I got my new planner. This is by Blue Sky from Amazon. I like this planner the best out of any I've seen. I like it because let me flip over here. Because you have your days of the week that you can add things in. And as you know, I keep track of every day I stitch, and I also count my stitches, and I track them all year long. So got that, and then I have already gone to the back of it. Let me flip over to the back. They have some extra pages in here that you can write on. And I already have my WIPs listed going into 2023. And this year, I didn't do this last year, but I listed them according to the start date. So I've got, my oldest one is from 2019. It's Alphabet Blocks, which I showed you a while ago. So I'm going to concentrate on that one. And I won't work on it steady, because I never work on anything steady. I will probably give it 5 days. I'm kind of thinking along the line of 5 days. I'm really bad about, I guess not bad, I guess it's good. I can't stitch on something for just a couple of days. I usually get into it, and then it's like I just want to work on it for a while. So sometimes I've been known to stitch on something for 3-4 weeks straight, and then I'm just, one day it's like, I'm done. I'm gonna put it away for now. And but what I'm going to do, because I want to keep progress moving on all of them, I'm going to commit at least, or well, probably 5 days. And then if I want to do a small in between there, all my smalls are something I want to finish in just a couple of days. So I'll start with my alphabet blocks, give it 5 days. If I want to start a small or work on a small project that I already have started, then I'll do that and finish it in a day or two. Then I'll go down to my next one, which is Quaker Gone Tropic, that I started in 2019, and give it 5 days. And then again, go back. I either go on down to the next one or do another small. So I want to see more finishes as far as some smalls. I really want to get some ornaments made, some pillows made, just a lot of little small things that I can put around the house, because almost everything I ever stitch is large projects. And I didn't get my Christmas video made to where I could show you all my finishes, but I didn't put out as much this year, so I guess that'll be a video for this next year. So anyway, I have 7 starts from 2019 that's rolling over into 2023, so I need to get those done. 2020, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 from 2020. I have 3 from 21, and this is really bad. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 starts from 2022. So I got to get on all of these. I want to see more progress. So anyway, and you know, I've got these ideas, but sometimes it's like, nah, I don't want to do that. It was like WIPCO. I thought WIPCO was a great idea, and it is a great idea. But once I got into it, it just wasn't for me. I just didn't do well with it. I stitched on stuff, but I didn't stitch on stuff in the order it was called. So I I kind of went, ditched that after about, I don't know, it's probably 6 months. I got quite a bit done with it, but I just decided it wasn't quite for me. So anyway, I'm thinking maybe this new way I've got planned out might work better. We'll see. And I think that's about it for today. So I hope everybody had a good holiday and have a happy new year. And hopefully I can get back on schedule and I'll see you in a couple of weeks then. So, so anyway, get lots of stitching done. Bye.